When we talk about health issues that are associated with sugar, the first thing that comes to people's mind is diabetes. Oh well, that's the notorious guy.
Yes,
but
that guy.
it's not just diabetes.
Yeah, it's not just
It
that.
starts somewhere. Once your body mass index has passed the normal level, it begins to affect your heart, it begins to affect your blood pressure, it begins to affect your blood vessels. Some of your blood vessels can become occluded. Now, once that happens, your blood pressure begins to rise. Hypertension sets in.
Just comes in gradually.
Yes,
Without even you
hypertension
know
sets
it at
in.
all.
And once hypertension has set in, you begin to have heart disorders.
So when children take too much sugary stuff at that age, it affects their dental tooth, and then it causes pain, decay, and all of them. As when they grow, you see them removing their tooth, which is
Recalibration TV. Realign, refocus. Return to Christ.
Hello everyone and welcome to this podcast. I'm Juliet and I'm your host. So today we will be discussing something that cuts across nearly every household, every age group, and probably every one of you listening right now. And it's the subject of sugar. So sugar is in basically everything that we consume, from cereals to pastries to snacks, drinks, and even the things that we assume are healthy. We love the sweetness, we love how it makes us feel, but do we really have an idea what sugar does to the body? This podcast is not about fear or guilt, it's about understanding, balance, and making informed choices. And today I'm joined by Mrs. McHarrison, Medical Lab Sciences, and Mademoiselle Peculiar.
Hi.
Thank you so much, Mas.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. We're glad to be here.
Okay, so let's quickly get right into the business of the day.
All right.
Okay, so when someone hears the word sugar, what do you think should come to their mind? Because I believe that layman will just hear sugar and then think of the table sugar.
Yeah.
But there's more to sugar.
Yeah, actually there is.
Okay, so what can you say about that?
It's quite foundational that we make a distinction here before we go ahead. So sugar is not just the table sugar. It's not just that, even though it's part of it, and it's not just sweets or candy. So basically, as a form of definition, sugar is a type of carbohydrate that serves as the body's main source of energy. So think of it like what the body needs to power itself is like the power of the body. So every cell in the body needs energy to function, right?
Like how energy is the ability to do work.
Exactly.
So if the body doesn't need that, if there's no energy in the body, it can't function.
So every cell needs energy to function. And where does that energy come from? Sugar. So what's sugar exactly? Because there are various forms of sugar. There is the glucose, there is fructose, maltose, sucrose, a lot of them.
Cellulose.
I think up to 6 or so. Yeah. So the glucose that the body makes, the sugar that the body makes use of is glucose. So that is what the body uses to power itself. And this glucose is found in the bloodstream. It's found in the bloodstream. So when we talk about sugar, now don't just think, okay, sugar is bad or sugar is good. No. Rather, we should think about what kind of sugar. Because there is natural sugar. Sugar exists in our foods. Like when you take fruits, you take vegetables, milk, there's sugar in it. That's the natural sugar. And then there are other foods that are being processed, and in the process sugar is being added. So that is what we can call added sugar. So now sugar in itself is not the enemy. Rather, the real concern is what kind of sugar
and the amount
of sugar that is being consumed.
And then also added sugar are also called sweeteners. That is to make food or pastries or whatever thing you want to use it for, to give it a sweet flavor, or even a nice texture, that kind of a thing.
Actually, so that's basically
Thank you so much. So, can you give us a clear difference between natural sugars and added sugars, aside the examples?
Okay. Natural sugars and added sugars, as the name implies, they are just what it is. Like for the natural sugars, there are those kinds of sugars that occur naturally in our diet, in our food, which we've already listed the examples. But and then the added sugars, which I've already said, they are also called sweeteners and also processed sugars. Now the difference between natural sugars and added sugars are their absorption process.
Absorption
Yes.
rate. Wow. Yeah.
Because for natural sugars, they absorb slowly into the bloodstream, but that of the added sugar, they are quick to be absorbed into the bloodstream, which is the major difference, yes, between the both sugars.
And it's quite dangerous. That quick absorption.
Yes, it's quite dangerous because when it absorbs into the bloodstream quickly, that's where you see the spikes and the crash rather.
All right, thank you so much for that. So, can you give other differences between the natural sugar and the added sugar, aside the examples that you guys already spoke of?
Mentioned. Okay. Natural sugars are naturally occurring sugars that are found in our diet and in our food. And then added sugars are also called sweeteners, which we already mentioned, that are gotten or that are processed from sugar cane, sugar beets. Yes. And then the differences between both are, or rather is, the absorption rate. Now, how they are being absorbed into the body system, specifically into the bloodstream, are quite different. For natural sugar, they absorb slowly, into the bloodstream, and then that of the added sugar, they absorb quickly, fast. They absorb so quickly. So that's one, that's the absorption rate. The second one is the calorie content. And then for the natural sugar, they have how do I explain it now? They have good calorie content in it, whereby nutritional calorie content. Thank you. Yes, whereby there is there's a mixture between fibers in them too. Vitamins, yes, and other minerals. Thank you. And then that of the added sugar, like it has empty calorie, no nutrients at all, little or no nutritional value in them. That's why it's quite harmful in the body.
Okay, so thank you so much for that clarification, because a lot of persons actually think that all kinds of sugar behave the same
way.
But that was a good one. So, from a health perspective, do you think we should totally avoid sugar?
No.
No, I don't think so.
That's a wrong step to take. So, I said earlier that the body cells need sugar to function. So imagine you are eliminating sugar entirely. What you want to you just want to kill yourself,
what
literally.
Want the body to do exactly?
Actually, so now healthy eating, it's not necessarily about restriction or total elimination. Rather, it is about moderation. Moderation, balance, and making the right choices. So now, if we're talking about moderating the amount of sugar that we're taking in, the major concern, first of all, should be the added sugar. Because you really need to avoid as much as possible taking in added sugar regularly. Because, like she talked about the absorption rate, imagine someone taking in added sugar on an empty stomach. That's even one of the worst things that we do. It's really harmful. So when you wake up in the morning or you've not eaten for a long time and you just feel like, oh, I need a bottle of Coke, and you just gulp it in, what happens is that your body, and actually you just feel instantly energized. What happens is that the amount of sugar in your body spikes immediately, like it's a sudden rise in the amount of sugar in your body, and that is not healthy at all. So instead of saying I want to completely eliminate sugar from my diet, it's not possible. Rather, check the kind of sugar you take in, your source of sugar, and then check the amount in which you take it. So that is what really matters. Rather than talking about restriction, instead talk about balance and energy.
Yeah. This your question just brought me back to something, because at some age, it's also age dependent. Not that they will avoid it totally. It's also age dependent, because I know we believe we've been saying it here that sugar is very essential for our body, especially for children and then young adults. But at some specific ages, even our parents do that now. You see them stopping, or rather distinguishing themselves from some kinds of food they take in. Yes, it's also to regulate their sugar level. And then you cannot, why I'm saying it also is because you cannot just say avoid sugar, because the Gen Z of this world now, like you go, like you turn your head here, turn your head there, you're seeing
sugar,
different kinds of things.
Processed sugar everywhere.
They will really, even if you don't want to get it, they will attract you to go and get it. So the main issue, the main how to resolve this, or rather how to take care of this particular thing, is to balance it and regulate
balance
it.
and regulation.
Balancing and regulation. Yeah, moderation. These are the key things here.
Thank you so much. I've heard a lot of persons say that they can't go to bed without taking something sugary. They can't just eat without taking something cold. Why do people actually feel they need to take something sugary after meals? Like you already filled up, you're already feeling filled up, but you still have that craving to go eat something sugary, biscuits, just snack up. Why do people actually tend to come to this result?
This is one thing that is really very widespread in our eating habits. I'm telling you. Now, this things starts one day. It's one day that things start, right?
From one purpose to another.
Imagine that today I just finished eating and I'm like, oh, I really want to take biscuits, and I go get a biscuit and take. And tomorrow, and I'm like, okay, let me just take one biscuit after taking my meals. Now, you know what is happening? The brain dopamine reward pathway is getting activated. Now, what that means is dopamine is the substance in the body that is responsible for pleasure, satisfaction. You get, So what is happening in that reward pathway is that, okay, my brain has taken in, it has noticed that this thing keeps coming at this particular time of the day. So it came today, it came yesterday, and then the next day, that reward pathway is activated. So the brain is looking forward to it. That's why gradually, every day, you discover that you just can't go to bed if you have not taken it. So you see, it's just something you started one day, and now it's growing, because sugar actually activates that reward pathway in the brain. So the best thing is, normally there's something called dessert after a meal. So rather than taking sugary stuffs, why not look for something else? Yes, instead of taking sugary stuff, biscuits, soft drinks, you can take a fruit. Or you can take a salad or something that is healthier.
One thing that leads to this is also the habit system, because like you already said it, maybe the person just wanted to try it once, and maybe the person an individual finished his or her dinner and then decided to let me just take one or two of these, and then tomorrow one or two of these, or maybe the person was not even full enough. And now decides to now take one of these, and then with time, and then I also got that towards the evening, as the evening is encouraged, as the evening is coming, we crave sugary things. I don't know. That's where I saw that. I read that. I was wow.
That's energy. Is that true? Energy depletion, kind of. It could be.
Okay, and then that's how with habit the person now gets used to it, and then the person, as time goes on, the person begins to crave it. And then another example is when you deprive yourself or restrict yourself of taking sugary stuffs. Like it's just like someone that, just like when someone tells you not to go here,
That's where you want to go.
That's
right?
where you want to go. You now have this urge to go because
To
of
go
but
there.
this person said it. Let me just try and see what this person is trying to say about it. That's how sugar works in our body system. Yes. If you tell yourself, I'm not going to eat this specific thing or this specific beverage, I'm not going to drink this specific beverage or eat this specific snack. Maybe so time you now eat it. The body,
there's something your body just wants to do that.
Yeah, the body just tell you.
Have to depend on the Holy Ghost to just
Honestly,
Yes,
to hold
actually.
yourself, to discipline yourself.
Yes.
That's it.
Wow.
Thank you so much. So sugar in itself is not the
Enemy,
the
bad guy.
Now, the moderation and the amount and the sauce.
The sauce you consume. Yeah.
So I believe there are health risks attached to
huge
excessive
ones.
consumptions of sugar. So can you tell us about that?
Okay, when we talk about health issues that are associated with sugar, the first thing that comes to people's mind is diabetes. Oh well, that's the notorious guy.
Yeah,
but
guy.
Yes, but it's not just diabetes.
Yeah, it's not just
It
that.
starts somewhere. I think first thing is weight gain, which is likely the most obvious.
The obvious one.
Yes. Diabetes can take. Funny enough, diabetes can take like 5, 6 years, 10 years to even show up.
Manifest.
But weight gain is something that you see in the immediate.
Yes.
Now, we talked about added sugars. We talked about the fact that they have calories, and these calories they contain little or no nutritional value. And something I forgot to say there is that these added sugars, they don't fill you. They are not filling. So now let's paint an illustration. Okay, I am hungry. I feel hungry. So I just take a pastry or soft drink or something to just satisfy my hunger immediately. And what that does is that it boosts my energy at the moment. Yes, at the instant. Now, because it's not filling first, and then it contains a high amount of calorie that is not necessarily nutritional, within a short period of time, let's say some minutes, an hour, I feel hungry again. Now, if I am wise or if I really know what is going on, I should go and look for something proper to eat.
And honestly, that's the ignorance.
Yes. So now I will now go and look for something else again that is within that same category and keep. So imagine I keep taking that, keep taking it, and keep it. Gradually, these calories are being stored in my body. So as they are being stored, gradually I begin to notice that I'm adding weight. I'm adding on weight, and if it is not taken care of, it can lead to obesity. Now, once your weight, your body mass index has passed the normal level, you will notice that it begins to affect your heart. It begins to affect your blood pressure. It begins to affect your blood vessels. Some of your blood vessels can become occluded. Now, once that happens, your blood pressure begins to rise. Hypertension sets in. Are you saying it? Weight gain.
It just comes in gradually.
Yes. Hypertension sets in. And once hypertension has set in, you begin to have heart disorders. See that the sickness is expanding. But before, we just think it's diabetes and all that.
This is why some people when they, let's say, they sleep at night and then they can't wake up, it's because of all these things.
Exactly. You won't even know that something is going wrong with your body.
You won't know, like it just creeps in like that.
Yes, and the bad guy now, diabetes, that's one of the major consequences. Yes, health issues that is associated with excessive sugar intake, and that's the type 2 diabetes mellitus. And I would like to briefly talk about how, because it's not that sugar causes diabetes, but it is the mechanism surrounding the whole intake of sugar excessively, regularly, without control and moderation. That's what actually causes diabetes. Now, we take in sugar. When sugar gets into the body, it's being broken down to glucose. So what is in the bloodstream is glucose. Now, there's a hormone in the body called insulin. This insulin is what aids in the absorption of glucose into the body cells so that they can use it to function. Okay. Now, when you take in sugar, it's like a notification.
Yeah.
You get a notification. Okay, there's sugar in the body. Insulin is being released to act on it, and all that pathway. Now, remember we said added sugar spikes the blood suddenly. So once there is a sudden spike in your blood sugar level, there's also a sudden release of insulin from the pancreas. Now, once that happens, the cells, once insulin is present, the cells begin to absorb. Now, imagine that I keep doing that every hour, every 2 hours, every day. So let's say, okay, your neighbor comes to your door, 2 minutes, knocks, you open the door, he goes back. He comes another 3 minutes, knocks, open the door, you go back. Comes another 5 minutes. Now, once you will be exhausted, and that is what happens to the cells. Once every time insulin is out, they need to absorb sugar. Insulin is out, they need to absorb glucose. The cell at some point become unresponsive to the insulin, and that is when insulin resistance sets in. And once that sets in, you discover that the amount of sugar in the bloodstream, glucose rather, in the bloodstream keeps increasing, and that is the danger. That is the beginning of type 2 diabetes mellitus once it is not put into check on control. And another thing that happens is that the organ that releases insulin is the pancreas. So as you know, the pancreas keeps releasing, it gets weary at some point. So you see the whole mechanism surrounding the stuff. It gets, once the pancreas gets tired of releasing insulin, our body is organic, is not machine. So the pancreas gets tired, it no more releases insulin. So there's nothing to act on the glucose that is in the bloodstream. It just keeps increasing and increasing. And at this point, that's where diabetes sets in. You see? So that's why they said it's just managed. It can't be cured according to medicine. So you see the danger, the whole link and everything. These are the consequences and health risks that one faces when sugar is being, especially added sugar, is being taken excessively, regularly, without check and control.
Another consequences or risk of another health consequences or risk of over consumption of this added sugar are also the fatty liver diseases. We also have kidney diseases and then colon cancer.
Yeah, I think one time I did a research and I actually found out that sugar actually helps cancer cells
grow to thrive. Yeah.
So you probably might not have noticed that you have cancer, but the more you feed yourself with sugar and taking all that stuff, you just,
if it's there, it's gonna be supporting it.
And intercessor to you.
All right.
Nice. Nice.
Okay, so what are the warning signs that people should actually take note of before they become serious?
Yes. Before the risk and the causes or the consequences sets in, there are some signs that the body experiences before this risk takes place or becomes manifest in a person's body. It takes time. You know, understand? So these signs are what surfaces, and then it's now left for that individual, to begin to regulate and all that. So one of those signs are we know them already. That is weight gain.
Weight gain, especially around the waist and your abdomen region,
the lower part of the abdomen.
You've seen those people that usually have a lot of fat around this area, and that's a great warning sign. It's a serious warning sign.
Yes, another one is frequent urination. You having the urge to urinate frequently. Yes,
during the day and at night.
Exactly. And then acne, wrinkles. Yes, when it's also called this added sugar.
Yeah, another risk, another warning sign is this excessive thirst or frequent thirst. So where you're always thirsty, you always want to drink water. I think this is even one of the serious warning signs of diabetes onset rather. Serious frequent thirst, always wanting to drink water. Another thing is you're always hungry.
Mm-hmm.
You just finish eating. Even if you've eaten, you keep feeling hungry. You just keep feeling hungry. And also sudden spike and crashing of energy.
Fatigue.
You're energetic. Maybe you just took something, you're energetic now, and suddenly your energy has crashed without you doing maybe any serious work or something. Crashing of energy suddenly. I think that's one sign. And also tooth cavities. Yeah, tooth decay
Pain.
and pain, toothache, those. Yes, dental issues. When you begin to, the mouth contains bacteria normally. Now, sugar, bacteria feeds on sugar a lot. Like it's one of, yes. So the more you take sugar and you don't have a good dental routine, and you take in a lot of sugar, those bacteria, as they keep on feeding on that sugar, they are degrading your tooth enamel. As your tooth enamel is being degraded, suddenly you start discovering that there are holes in your teeth. You start having cavities. You start having issues.
Wow, this whole stuff is just making me to actually look back on the ignorance of many persons. Some persons actually spiritualize this sickness thing. You don't know, you have been eating
All kinds of stuff,
nonsense and
yeah.
all that, and you have been building up sickness for yourself. So when the thing now strikes, you now begin to look for.
And even people that have a family history of certain sicknesses,
That's
let's say like this diabetes now, that people that have family history, that your mom had this thing, your dad, maybe somebody, your uncle, your grandma, someone had it in your family, and you appear and you're eating, consuming stuffs, and you're not careful of what you're eating. And especially, maybe some of them might be Christians. They say God has redeemed you from the curse. You are all things, and yet you're feeding your body. No,
Even
now.
the Bible says that your body is a temple of the Holy Ghost. Take care of it.
Yes, you take care of your body. In fact, even if you don't even have, a family history, you should take care of your body. That's what we're actually talking about right now. This thing is excessive intake is not healthy. So whether you have a family history of any of the diseases or not, just be healthy, because you can even start it. So you can start, now you can become the pioneer. You can become the pioneer of generational issue. So it's better to prevent it than trying to, by eating healthy, taking care of your body, and
Look for better alternatives.
Yes.
Alternatives are
There
there.
are
Our
alternatives.
license to be on this earth is our body.
Exactly.
If you say you are a Christian, you have a great calling.
Your
My
body
sister, my
is
brother,
very important.
Once you damage yourself and
what's the essence?
There's not much you can do.
God will just change you and start looking for
Another person, because there are so many.
So many things. There are so many options, so many alternatives.
Yeah, so
God has alternatives.
Let's take that
Very important.
So we mentioned about this animal thing and children. So I think we should bring it down to family life, children and all that. So how does excessive sugar intake affect the growth of children, their daily habits, and even their health in the long term?
Okay, since we've already started talking about dental issues, dental problems, like in children, as because they are developing, their body system is developing. They've not matured. These organs, these systems, the cells, and the rest of them, they've not matured properly. So and then enamel, the enamel of the teeth, they're very sensitive. And then when we take excessive, no, when children rather now, because we're looking at children, when children take excessive or excessive added sugar. Yes, remember, it's not just the table sugar we're looking at, or that both candy,
chocolate.
When they take it, because of the sensitivity of the enamel, it affects the teeth, the enamel of the tooth, which now leads to pain. Even at that stage, children complain of dental, and honestly, it is sugar that causes it. Because we've already talked about, you just want it, maybe a reward system. Your mom just gave it to a child, not my mom giving it to her. a parent gave his or her child sweets, chocolate as a reward system. You see, subsequently the child keeps
taking more
taking it
more.
and taking more and more, and then they like it because they are sweet. It's very sweet. Yes, and then it's at some point it now there's a sorry, I'm about to divert. There is also this thing called when you now take too much of it. When you take too much of it, your mouth now gets used to sweet things. And then you cannot now fall back.
You can't fall back.
You can't fall back. It has already formed. When someone else is taking something sweet and then I happen to taste that thing. Like I find out that it's very sugary.
Yes.
Like it's very sugary.
And to the person is like, this is normal.
This is different.
It alters your taste bud. It alters your taste bud.
So when children take too much sugary stuff at that age, it affects their dental tooth, and then it causes pain, decay, and all of them. As when they grow, you see them removing their tooth, which is
and also good. Another thing is that these kids, they need a lot of nutrients to develop properly. Now, if you now replace the natural food they are supposed to eat that will give them these nutrients that they need, discover that their body will no longer be able to fight diseases as it should. Especially young growing children. Sickness. You see them suffering from all kinds of stuff. And then because this, like we say that these added sugars, they contain a lot of calories. So when these kids take it, they tend to become so plumpy. there are some of them that
it's not bad,
which is not bad.
Grandpa, meanwhile, they're just kids.
Now it's not just about that. Now, like their weights, some of them look so plumpy, but you discover that they don't even have strength. Some of those kids, if you push them, they will fall.
But still yet, plumpiness doesn't still mean.
No, I'm not saying plumpiness is bad, but I'm just saying it's part of what happens to some of these children. Gain weight, unnecessary weight that they shouldn't gain.
Unnecessary.
Yes, unnecessary weight gain. There are kids that have unnecessary weight gain. Now, let's say you see a child of maybe 5-6 years, and you're looking at the child. The child is so big, and you're thinking the child is already up to 10. Yes, that's some. Even though maybe children's genetics can, but I'm just talking of the one that has to do with this excessive sugar intake. So some of them they do not have the required nutrients that every child needs for the body to thrive properly, because their normal food has been replaced with these processed foods. There are some households you go to, you see just like 10 to 20% of healthy food. Every other thing are processed foods. And many times this household they don't even know.
They don't know.
Honestly. They don't even know that these foods are processed and unhealthy.
And I also feel like some of them come to this point because their kids are now used to eating processed food.
They're now used to it.
So if they don't bring it, the kids don't eat. I came across a shop and the mom was shouting at her child that today, if you don't eat this food, I'm not going to tell you to go and take snacks and all that. So I had to just tell the mom that she should better start insisting that this girl eats food. And then she ended up even telling me that the child even has started complaining that she used to have heartburn. I said, how old are you that you're having? It's because you're already eating nonsense. So I feel like parents should insist, start from the early age and insist that
they eat healthy.
Happen in this house. Anybody that is crying for you should just go and sit down, because children can be very manipulative
with their tantrums and everything.
Okay.
So what are the practical ways that parents can actually prevent their kids from
getting addicted to sugar? Okay, I think one of the first things to do is to be a good role model. Children learn from what they see. They learn from their environment. So you can't tell a child, I'm eating biscuits, don't eat biscuits. In fact, who does that? A toddler, you can imagine a mom holding something. A toddler, the mom's toddler, will just crawl up and be stretching his or her hands to get that stuff.
Exactly.
So as you're eating, your kids are looking at what you're eating. And you don't, the Bible says, train up a child in the way he should go, and when he's old, he will not depart. So you can't be expecting your child to learn how to eat healthy when you, as a parent, is not eating healthy. So parents should be good role models first. Eat healthy. And the next thing is introduce healthy alternatives for your children. Okay, you're saying no sweets in this house, no candies in this house. Children likes those stuff, right? So you have to introduce an alternative, something catchy, something pleasant, something enticing. When they see it, they go for it. They would like to, you can, in place of those lollipops, candies, you can do something like, I saw something like they blended watermelon, extracted the juice, and filled it in little holes with stick inside, refrigerated, and it came out like sweet. When you give that to the child, in place of you like, and he's licking on it and all that. So introduce healthy alternatives rather than outrightly saying no this, no that. What then is the alternative? Then I think also, do not use these sweets or these processed foods as a reward system for your kids. No, don't do that. What you end up doing is more like you okay, imagine you say to your child, if you don't sweep this house today, I'm not going to give you candy, or if you do this, I'm going to give you sweets. Now what it does to that child is that it makes that child place value on that candy. So the child be like, okay, this candy is really something, you're putting a value on it that it does not really have actually.
And seeing wanting it.
Yes, so the child will always think, okay, this is really, now when they place options before that child, they place a candy and maybe place something better. The child will always want to go for the candy because he has seen that this is something that is being used to reward me. It should be valuable. You understand? So parents should not do that. Rather, if you're to put a reward system for your child, use something else. Use something healthier. If it's something edible. So these are part of the things that can be done, that parents can use to avoid their child getting addicted.
And then that children are also very influenced by their
peers.
Because most
that
of
one.
them,
yes,
parents would give their children money and say, remember to buy up when you reach school. Opa woman is here with her stuff, and then the booking man or maybe someone in the shop is with all his sweets, and you just see all of them trooping there.
Trooping to a booking.
Because maybe my friend is buying. And then if you notice, these processed food companies like to bring out things that are very
attractive. Yes.
So
enticing.
if you have not gotten that, and then you have not even started.
There's one I saw recent. If I see it, I'll be like, I should not buy this. I say, I'm not buying. It's so attractive, and when it comes out like that, everybody, you just go that everybody is rushing it, and you make your child want to. So instead of giving your child money, put the stuff in their lunchbox. And tell them this at lunch break, take this, and take this. Instead of giving them the free will to get whatever they want.
So. And then another one is parents should check the labels of what they go to purchase.
Yes,
because most of the times these processed things that we assume are good contain a whole lot of added sugar in them.
When you check the label, you
get to find out the amount of sugar and the amount of other nutrients found in whatever thing you're purchasing.
That's very important. Reading of food labels, because most times we make these choices without knowing, because you're not informed that you're not informed. So when you go to the mall to get stuff, okay, I say, I've seen this, I really love it, I want to get this for my child. You pick it, read through it. What are the nutritional contents in it? Check it, and if it's something you should get. So parents should be really educated about, be intentional about your child, about what you feed your child with. Be very intentional about it.
Because at the end of the day, every parent wants his or child
to have the best.
be healthy and live long. So it
starts at that age.
At that early age.
Okay, so I'm going to be throwing this question to Mademoiselle Peculiar.
Oh God.
So what are the practical changes that you think parents can make when it comes to the food issue without bringing conflict around the food? Because I believe that there are parents that are actually going to adjust the food menu. But then your child is already used to
the sweet one.
Yeah. So how do you now introduce these new sets of stuff without causing conflict? Because I know that there are some children that can be so stubborn that they will just leave the food for you. Like they will not eat, and you'd have to now
force them or
out of pity you just want to just give them back those stuff and all that. So how can they reintroduce this new model without bringing conflict around the food?
Okay, I'll say firstly, parents, don't be sentimental about this. Yes, they can be tricky and manipulative, but don't fall for it. Don't fall for it. The first thing you can actually do is to actually educate them, because children are very inquisitive. They want to know why you gave this instruction. They want to see why. They want to know why. So they will keep asking, why is it this way? Why is it? Why are you telling me not to take this? And all of those things. So teaching them the exact nutritional educational knowledge they need to know concerning what to take into their body, the right sugar to take into their body is very essential. Because when they understand, when you teach them, they will understand actually. When they understand, then they can be able to abide to whatever thing you're saying. And then another thing is, do not neglect the fact that they've already started they've already started taking in this sugar. But yet, when you want to bring it in, it's a gradual process. Don't enforce it on them, because when they enforce it on them, it backfires on you. And then
they feel deprived.
And they feel deprived, exactly. They see it as you're depriving them from what I'm supposed to be eating, that kind of a thing. But rather, it's a little process, a gradual process,
step by step.
Bring a little of this one, and also bring a little of that other one. Don't stop it at all. Don't stop it entirely. Bring a little of this, bring a little of this, and then give it to them with time, and then with consistency in that. Also, don't say give them this today, and then tomorrow you not give them the other. Children will
actually adjust more to consistent rules than a strict rule that you put for them.
As you are speaking, I just remembered a particular boy that the mom decided, I think he was around, let's say 14. So the mom decided that added sugars, processed meals over, and then she just kept it there as a rule. You know what this boy started doing?
What did he do?
He would go downstairs to the kiosk near their house and just buy something on the mommy's head.
Oh my God!
He just kept on buying until one day the seller now came and told the mom that your son is owing me 10,000. And she was like,
10,000, Jesus.
So children can just have a lot of tricky things to do if you don't actually take it the right way. So I like what you said about educating them, because when you enlighten, why would you tell someone that if you continue this lifestyle that you're bound to not live longer? Why would the person actually continue? So you see, the parents should actually give this education, so that when children even get knowledge, they can also help their peers. If you notice, children they are this kind of persons that just say it how it is.
They don't paint
words. You mostly see children saying, my mommy said, my daddy said.
Exactly, they'll just give it to you exactly the way you said it.
My mommy said, my daddy said. So when they have not gotten any knowledge about all these sweets and all that, they can just follow their mates. But when they know, you see them even becoming evangelists in this order.
Exactly.
I think also this education also has to, I think it has to do with age. Age really matters. Now you can't tell me that I should be educating my 3-year-old, my 4-year-old. I give you instruction and tell you this is what you're going to eat, and you're going to eat it. Yes, 3-year-old. No, because
3-year-old, they can really speak.
Actually,
they can speak. Yes, they can speak. Now, what I'm trying to say is not that definitely there should be a form of strictness, especially for these little ones. There should be a form of strictness. Tell them this is what mommy says eat, and it's good for you eat. So when you can just tell them it's good for you, it's better for you eat this. Then when maybe they are a little bit more grown, you can add more proper education for them.
Yes, and then another one is substituting these added sugars
For
like
healthier
sweet
meals.
candies, yes, with other healthier meals.
Alternatives, yeah.
Fruits are there, yes, sweet fruits are there also, and so many others. And then another one is removing these, not entirely, like if you notice that, because you're trying to help these kids, you understand, so rather removing it out of
their sight,
so that they don't always see it, because once they see it they want it.
Exactly. That's the law of attraction. You don't keep it in sight.
Exactly. Remove it from them, even
like
if
stocking the fridge with sugary drinks. When they open the fridge, they're
they
seeing
say,
it's just there.
yes. So even if it has to be in the house,
hide it somewhere.
Hide it somewhere.
I remember those days. My mom, there are certain things my mom will keep in her room. It's just in her room. We don't have. She only brings it out when she wants to bring it out. So keep it out of their sight. I think that's a very valid point. Yeah.
Okay, so what can you say about parents banning anything, biscuits and all that, like in the house, like
banning it totally?
Buy and bringing these kinds of things to this house, like it's not. What can you say about that?
Banning it. That's a very weird.
That's actually what we're talking about. Yes. That strict rule, and yes, sometimes children don't go so well with those.
You give them, but don't give them
not
much.
Always.
Then mix it.
Yes, that's it.
And I see this, I just remembered the scenarios of children that their parents always try to keep indoors to avoid all these. Once they enter school like this,
exactly, that's the thing. Once they see the opportunity,
so wild, and they just want to just overdo. So I even think that trying to ban it, maybe ban biscuits and all that in the house, is even going to worsen.
Because
when they now go out there,
they want it.
They'll take
because
a
you're
lot.
not there.
You're not there to keep on banning a whole lot that can fuel them for the day before they come back, and then before they're acting all nice and all.
And you're even teaching them like they are developing a kind of bad attitude and character, trying to hide things from you. They will learn to hide other things from you. You see it. So it's actually covering a lot of other things.
For adults now, what's practical ways can adults actually reduce this sugar intake without feeling deprived?
Right.
Because I believe that being an adult means that you're already used to most of these things, so it has become a very strong habit. So what can someone do today to begin to develop
healthy eating habits? Okay, first of all, we need to understand that, especially if you've been taking it for a while, you need to understand that changing doesn't happen overnight. It's a gradual process. So you need to start adjusting gradually. If you used to take in a week, you can take 5 bottles of soft drink, you start cutting down.
5 bottles
in a week,
yes.
God,
you can start cutting down. Now, if you feel so thirsty or you feel like you really need to drink something, rather than taking soft drinks, carbonated drinks, rather go for water.
Exactly.
Yes, go for water. And these days, you can make it so interesting to take your water. Get a very nice, fancy water bottle that is looking so attractive. Yes,
That's
people
what
do
people
it.
do.
Yes, the water
Honestly.
bottle is going to be very fine. You know, the design
Wow.
looking so attractive. So you just carry it
And be
with you
sipping.
and be sipping the water gradually. Yes, that's it. So as you're doing
Yeah.
that, you're gradually educating your
Yourself.
brain. Yes, you are gradually educating yourself, educating your brain. So you discover that you begin gradually, you start replacing softs with water and with other healthier drinks. There are actually other healthier drinks, but most importantly, water. Water is the miracle worker you get in all this. That's one way to work on this thing. So another thing to do also is choose to take fruits. In fact, plan your week, plan your day with fruits. Plan with fruit. Don't just, say leave it to chance.
Yeah.
You say, today, if I just see fruit on the way, I'll get. So plan it. Because if you leave it to chance, there's every probability that you won't get it. So intentionally say, okay, let's say in a week, I'm going to do fruit for 3 days, and then plan it when you get out. Intentionally go to where they are selling food. Don't wait until you see one. Look for one and get it. And put it. And the other, another, like we said earlier too, don't stock up your fridge even as an adult.
Hey,
Don't
that
stock up your
one.
fridge with soft drinks. I know you might be doing it for your visitor or something. Don't stock it up, because once it's there, the temptation is going to be high,
Yes.
and you want to just keep your house free of such things. And even when you go for parties, ceremonies, and they give you, they always serve such there.
Yeah.
You can either refuse it or give it to someone else and die to that craving. You need to. It takes a whole lot of discipline to actually do this.
Or
You
you can
need
even just say that you don't take this. That can
any
actually
longer.
inspire
Yes.
someone close to you. Instead of giving
Uh-huh.
it to someone, or just clearly state your
You do
stand
not
that
want
I
it.
don't take
You
this,
don't
and
take it.
you can actually inspire someone. I think I was speaking with someone, one of my friends one time, and he just said that you see all these biscuits you guys are eating. I don't do biscuits. I don't do flour. I was shocked. Like I I went home and I decided that I was not going to continue with biscuits and all that because of how he said it, as though these things are actually very unhealthy. And I've watched him. I noticed that he doesn't
take
eat
them
natural
stuff,
fruits, nuts, and all that. And if you see him, he looks very healthy. You get the point.
Yes,
So,
these things are real. Like, okay, a nurse friend told me a story. She said while she was working in a federal hospital, there was this woman, a patient. She was admitted in hospital, and her husband was the one taking care of her. So this man was so energetic. The ward where the woman was staying was in an upstairs. So the man will go get drugs. He can run that staircase for like 3, 4, 5 times a day, just getting food, getting drugs, and trying to take care of the woman. And guess how old this man is? 82 years.
wow.
82.
Wow.
And the man is so energetic. Like he can run through the staircase, comes up, and he's not really panting. Like, and the man was, they asked him, and he said that he doesn't take carbonated drinks. He stopped it. He said he does not eat bread. I said, bread, wow. He doesn't take stuffs made of flour.
And that must have been for like.
And he has been
very
doing it
long.
for a
Wow.
long time. And this man is so strong. And definitely he takes a lot of fruits. He said he takes a lot of fruits. Like he doesn't joke with it. So you see how far these things can go. If we decide to do them for a long time, you see the reward. It's quite rewarding. Yes. And then I also heard the story of a 50-year-old. Now this one is funny. The man is 50 years old. As I think as at last year was when I heard the story. If you hear him speak, his voice sounds like a 20-year-old. And this man said for 30 years of his life, he has not tasted bread. This same bread. I'm like, what's bread? This same bread.
easy to go food.
Like the easiest thing that you can just lay your hands on and feed. He said for 30 years he has not tasted bread. And he looks so young, healthy, energetic, and his voice sounds like, oh my god.
Because there's nothing to clog up his.
Like we really need, God needs to help us to decide to be healthy, live healthy, because this constant reduction of life expectancy, especially in this our country, is much. It's much, and it has, I think it has 90% to do with our eating habits. It has a lot to do with it.
And then talk about persons that don't even fast at all. I think there was a particular time I read about a book that spoke on fasting, and they analyzed not fasting as keeping your body continuously running
without break.
Food. Like there are some rotten things that are still in your gut from the last 5 years. Like you have not cleaned, just like a latrine system. These are latrine pipe. Things are just coming down.
No cleaning.
How many times they clean this stuff in years? That's already how these things. And then you see
so they are
going down with colon cancer, colon this, colon that. So you see why it's also very healthy to fast, so that you clean
up your system. And it's not even long fast sometimes, because people like they don't want to fast, and it doesn't even take so long. With 2 to 3 days of fasting, you can actually clean up your system, detox your system.
Even if you don't want to do it for maybe a spiritual purpose, you can just decide.
Just for being healthy.
I have people that they are not spiritual anything, but they don't eat. Like you see them, they wake up in the morning, they don't eat. They will stay till night, and it's a normal lifestyle. They think that once a day is good, and you see them still. I just don't know. And then in this our country where people also have this mindset that if they, that person where they chop well, where they fast, and they live good life, that's also a very
wrong mindset. Wrong.
Because you can be fat and very unhealthy. You can be fat and you have reduced your life expectancies.
It has been reduced.
You can be fat and carrying a lot of toxins in your body
as well.
So when you think of yourself as a house, and then the latrine system has just been like that
without cleansing,
the pipes has been like that without cleansing, you've just been gulping new things and all that, please, I think you should fast once in a while, right? Just have a daily routine of good eating habits, then exercises too.
Very essential.
Very
essential,
important.
yes.
Exercises, and then you're good to go. So this podcast was actually inspired by the last skit that we did. So you can go check out Bound of Free on our YouTube channel. So it's basically about a young lady that thinks that she can escape the rubbish in her father's line by quoting scriptures. Even the scriptures concerning sweet things, it says if you eat too much, it's not
Proverbs
good for
25
you.
verse 16.
If you eat too much, it's not
if you have found
you.
honey, don't eat too much. If you eat too much, it make you sick.
So
I really didn't know that was in the Bible. Oh my God.
Scriptures
is complete
in place, so you can't be breaking the laws of God, and then you want to escape by putting. You're not escaping anything.
You're not escaping anything.
This scripture says that our bodies are the temple of the Holy Spirit. So if you can consider that, if you can have that in mind, then you'd be in a better position to also make informed choices. Rather than going for carbonated drinks, you can just go for
water.
It's the same amount. A can of carbonated drink and a slice of lemon is now the same price. So it's just like 500. A blank check that we have every day. Every day that we eat, we keep making choices. We keep saying if you eat healthier every day, you keep saying that I want to live long, I want to live long. If the reverse is the case, then you're by yourself saying that
I don't want to live long.
I just do day. That's actually what you're saying. And Satan is by the side clapping for you. Because at the end of the day, most of them will come and try to shroud it around and auntie or a wicked uncle. Most times it's you were actually the witch that bewitched yourself.
You partook in the yes, in the process.
Satan just made it more easier for you and all that. So let's be very careful of what we take into our body, what we consume. If you have been finding it so hard to drop the habit, I think it's time you actually submitted to an authority that can keep you accountable and also lay bare before God, because it's actually a serious matter.
Yeah,
lay bare before God in prayers. I know you might be thinking, is that a prayer point? Yeah, it's a very serious prayer point. Lay bare before God and you see Him give you the grace to actually overcome.
Yeah.
So we've come to the end of this episode. This is Recalibration TV. Realign.
Refocus.
Return to Christ.
Bye.
Bye.